Ryan Wilson, Bryant McFadden aboard, fellas. No pictures on the scorecard, and you heard Russ say it. It's just about getting the win, but sometimes it's about more. What was your big takeaway here in week 2 for the Broncos, Ryan?
I still have concerns about Nathaniel Hackett. By all accounts, he's a great guy. Did wonderfully in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. Did a really good job during that deep playoff run by the Jacksonville Jaguars and Blake Bortles a few years prior to that. But my goodness, what is going on? We saw all the late game mismanagement a week ago. At the end of the first half, they had 1st and goal at the 1, missed it on 3 straight opportunities, had 4th and goal from the 1, trailing 6-3. And Nathaniel Hackett kicks a field goal. You have Russ Wilson. You have Javonte Williams. What are you doing? You are playing the Houston Texans. Before that, by the way, you had to call a timeout to avoid a delay of game. They had 2 delay of game penalties all last season. They've had 3 so far through 2 games this year. That is my big takeaway. I think Russ will eventually be okay. Hopefully they'll get Judy and Surtain back to help on both sides of the ball there. But the coaching needs to be better, and that's just the truth. And hopefully Nathaniel Hackett can get together, because this new ownership, which didn't hire Nathaniel Hackett, is probably watching very closely, and like they like to see a little bit more out of their coach as well. The fans were booing at home, not necessarily Russ, but they were voicing their displeasure as well. So something has to change on that front. But again, just like the previous game we talked about, it's good to do this while getting a win and then figuring it out during the week.
B-Mac, perception doesn't always meet reality in this league. It's all about putting it on tape. And through 2 weeks, I wonder how your perception of this Broncos team has changed. It was supposed to be just add Russ and shake, and here we are in a Super Bowl. It hasn't been that just yet.
Yeah, it's been disappointing so far. And I understand, I know how hard it is to win in the National Football League, guys. But good teams beat the teams they're supposed to beat. Think about this. In the first 2 meetings, for Green Bay, for the Denver Broncos, right? The first 2 opponents, they played against Geno Smith and Davis Mills. And almost in that 2-game stretch, they almost became 0-2. But today they played against a team that's worse than they are. So the concerns that Ryan talked about, Nathaniel Hackett, we start there. Once again, a very, very undisciplined team. 13 penalties for 100 yards. That's coaching. That's not paying attention to details. Then on 3rd down, 3 of 12 on 3rd down. They were horrible on 3rd down. Like I said, the only reason why the Broncos won this game today was they played against a team that's worse than they are. But eventually they're going to play against better teams with better quarterback play. So those are major concerns right now, because most people thought this offense would look entertaining, would be explosive. They've been everything but they've been the opposite of that. And it will get difficult, especially when they get into their schedule. But me personally, I felt like there would be some chemistry issues for this team, but I didn't expect to see them.
Why is that, B-Mac?
Like I'm seeing now.
At the root of those chemistry issues often is the guy who's the loudest voice in the room. It's obvious that Russ is trying to make this his room. Are you getting a sense that that's not the case?
Yeah. 2 things that I see. I don't see togetherness from the team, and I don't see a sound relationship between quarterback and play caller. And when you don't have a nice relationship, on the field relationship with those 2 individuals, you're going to see some issues. So that's what I'm seeing right now. And I can tell you this much, guys, there are a lot of teams, when you watch the first few weeks of the season, offensively, most importantly, you can tell if they needed preseason action or they're starting to find their stride. This is a team who needed to play their starters in the preseason, because what we're seeing right now has been communication issues, chemistry issues, rhythm issues, and they're not doing what we all thought they would do based on them acquiring Russell Wilson.
It is a long road to the Super Bowl coming this season, and that road seems to be getting steeper in Denver. 6 trips to the red zone through 2 weeks. No touchdowns to show for it. Gentlemen, great work as always.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.